Earlier this year, in celebration of America's 250th birthday, Prager University and the Department of Education unveiled the Road to Liberty. This is a new Founders Museum exhibit at the White House featuring portraits, historic scenes, and digital storytelling. The conservative nonprofit used artificial intelligence to create videos of the Founding Fathers. It includes one that depicts John Adams saying, quote, "Facts do not care about your feelings," end quote. It's starting a debate over how the technology is used and who's behind making these videos. We wanted to get some insight on the behind the scenes of artificial intelligence now. So today we have Paul Truax, the CEO of Cognify Learning Company. That's an Austin-based AI company working in the education space. Paul, welcome in. Thanks so much for being with us.
Really appreciate it.
I'm excited for this conversation because this topic is dominating so many across the country. But let's focus on misinformation and disinformation. You know, those have become a major problem, as we all well know. But how do you train a model to root out something that's fake versus what's real?
Yeah. So first and foremost, when a model gets trained, it starts off as a artificial neural network. So basically a digital baby brain, so to speak. And over time, what we do is we'll upload to that neural network different sets of information. So publicly available books, articles, even Reddit threads. And when you do that to the neural network, it starts to draw conclusions across different topics, across different ideas, similar to how we draw conclusions about the world around us as we age. So there's a problem with that, though. It sounds all fine and good, but there was a problem that arose in the early 2010s when a resume company uploaded a ton of resumes to a model and then said, okay, what's the ideal person for this job? And the model actually said, well, first and foremost, they should be a male. And it was interesting why the model said that. And so they looked into it and they noticed that a lot of the applications, a lot of the resumes were male-based. So the model actually made a mistake and said, okay, a lot of these are male resumes, so therefore only a male can do the job. And there's political connotations to that, but really it's just a fault in data. So what artificial intelligence companies like ours can do is incorporate something called semantic search, where the model is aware of the entire context and intent behind the user question and the entire intent behind the proposed answer. Otherwise, it's just a keyword search, and that's what leads to erroneous data and eventually bias in the AI's responses.
So it is possible to make the model a little more expansive to take in some of that extra information.
Right, exactly. And on top of that, one important thing that people should be doing, that what Cognify does, is there's a citation to every single sentence that the model generates. So the user can go into the exact article, the exact document that the model pulled that information from. So there's little hallucination, little bias as well.
Okay, so a lot of people out there are also thinking like, hey, maybe this growing industry needs some regulation. Are there any ideas that you have that think that maybe there should be safeguards on this?
Yeah, well, there's good news and bad news on that end. We'll start kind of with the bad news first, which is that the inference compute, how smart these models are getting, is moving at such a rapid pace in the tech sector. We've never seen anything like this. So to regulate that is very tough. Now, the good news is that there could be a lot of regulation around the data sets that the models are trained on. Requiring companies to report what type of data the model was trained on, having data documents to kind of detailing each data, each file that was uploaded, for example, as a data set. That could be regulated. Also, on top of that, requiring startups like ours to do third-party audits before we deploy a model to production. I think there's a lot of evaluators, AI evaluators out there. It's cheap to do, it's very reliable, and I think requiring that would be really awesome. And that's something that we've been doing since the very beginning, but I think it should be a regulation, should be a requirement.
Okay, of course we'll have to see what proceeds from here in terms of regulation that might come out. But for our final question, I'm wondering about, when you identify a certain bias that an artificial intelligence model might emerge in, how do you address that directly?
Yeah, well, so on the engineering front, it's a lot of that semantic search and citations and a lot of post-training that's involved, similar to those two topics. But I think that even beyond that, that's from an engineering standpoint. But even beyond that, I think, going towards the user, we're living in an age of infinite knowledge that's available 24/7. So being able to explore all sides, up, down, sideways of a particular topic, whether politically or professionally, that's where the true value in the modern day and the future worker is going to be. And that's why, for us, we felt that it was necessary to have a learner-first application, a learner-first version of all the generative AI apps that you currently use. And that's why we think it's very important to come out with that and allow the user to see all different sides, all different perspectives. And that's what you can get from our platform that's debuting on October 20th.
Okay, we will look out for that too. But Paul Truax, thank you so much for being
Really
here.
appreciate
This is
it.
really helpful perspective, and I hope people took a lot away from that. But
Awesome.
thanks again.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you too. Well,